Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everybody. So today is I'm going to give you a recorded video of the guidelines of FYUP2 project. So I'm very sorry that this briefing has been put into a halt for such a long time, because it was actually scheduled to be done on the first 2 weeks of the semester, but because of the COVID-19 isolation and stuff, so everybody is busy checking in into the colleges and stuffs. So I think it would be best for me to let you finish or to be familiarized with the lab, because you are not able to get into the lab, right? So saya biarkan you all masuk dalam lab dulu, and then after mid semester saya nak buatkan guideline briefing ni. But eventually that I'm going to do it this week, which is today, but I forgot that it was clashing with other courses or other talks that you have to attend, like the whole day talk, which is a career talk. So I decided to make it into a video. Okay, so so before I start, I would like to wish all Muslims Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. I hope it's still not too late. Very sorry if there is any wrongdoings from me to you. So harap dimaafkan ya. So okay. So in these guidelines, what are we going to touch in the briefing is there are a few agendas. Okay, if you see here. Okay, there are some updates on the FYUP information, and also some of the action plans on the FYP2. So, and there is a little explanation on the submission processes, whether you have to submit on the semester 2 and semester 3. Okay, so this is actually the current letters that we receive, which if you see in the date, it is dated on the 23rd of May, which is 2 days back. So we are officially has been verified or telah diluluskan the PNP in semester 2. So if you see here, those courses that cannot be completed on the semester 2 can be continued in the semester 3. Okay, so you have to finish all those tidak selesai in tidak selesai status. So it's just like the last semester of FYP. So those who are not able to finish in semester 2, you can carry out or you can finish up or complete your work in the semester 3 duration. So if you see in this workflow, this is a general or original tentative for semester 2, 2020-2021 semester. So this current semester lah. Okay, so if you see that it has been described what you should do. Okay, so in the first week is this is the week that you should be brief on these guidelines, but because of during this week the students are busy entering UTM and having the isolation and stuff, so you are required to start some lab work week after that, and right now we are in the 11th week. So you have we have already go through some semester break, and right now we are again need to be quarantined. So those who are not capable of finishing your lab, especially those who are doing the lab work, the wet lab, okay, so you might require more time. So 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 you can actually ignore all these dates that have been scheduled here. So those who are determined to submit or who are confident to finish in this semester, you can follow these dates. However, any decision whether you want to submit in this semester or in the next semester, which is in semester 3, you have to you have to thoroughly discuss with your supervisor, because she or he had the right to to know when is the time that is suitable for you to present or when you're ready. Okay, so you really need to discuss with your supervisor. Don't keep quiet, otherwise you are not able to get information and you cannot decide on your path, right? Okay, so if you see here, those who are planning to finish in semester 2, you have to stop your lab work by end of week 13, which is by 10 June. So adakah you rasa you dapat habiskan dalam masa terdekat ini? So you need to discuss with your supervisor again, yeah. So by right on this week 13, your lab work should be stopped. Okay, and then you need to focus on the report writing and slide preparation because you need to come up with your videos and slides because you need to present and having a Q&A session with your supervisor. Okay, I will explain on the workflow in the next slides. Okay, so basically, these are the things that you need to be that you need to know. Okay, all right. So okay, so these are actually the FYUP2 flow. Okay, on the current semester. Okay, so you have to do your lab work from week 1 to week 13, and then after that, on the week 14 is your PSM oral presentation. Okay, once when you have go through this FYP2 symposium, so kita panggil dia symposium because this is actually like a annual event. So everybody is needed to present your work, okay, your 1 year work through your oral presentation, and you'll be examined by your examiners. And then once you got the feedback from your examiners, okay, you are required to submit the report. So this report that you need to submit must be included with all the corrections or all the suggestions made by your examiners during your oral presentations. So but anyway, you have to let your supervisors know if you need to do any amendments on your report before you submit. So when you want to submit your report, you need to get your supervisor's signature, and she or he needs to make put a stamp on the front page of your thesis, and then you are eligible to submit it. Okay, on the required date that will be given to you later on. So after you submit, your thesis will be examined, and then okay, after it's examined, the the examination is about 2 weeks, and then after that your examiners will return the thesis and give the correction for your thesis, and then you are required to do the correction also within 2 weeks and submit the final thesis before you complete your FYUP 2. Okay, it looks like it's hang in my computer, so Okay, so now, sekejap ya. Okay, so now, sorry, I don't know why my laptop hang just now. So, okay, so so now that you are in week 11, right? Um, and that everybody is being quarantined. You are not able to enter the lab. So some of you might. It's not some of you. Many of you are required more time to do this. So if you notice that we are having semester 3 to complete, but you have to bear in mind that semester 3 is actually a short semester. So like the normal semester, we have 14 weeks. For the short semester, we have like 8 weeks, approximately about 8 weeks. So you have to really, really plan your work, whether you can complete within that 8 weeks. Okay, so that means your additional weeks given on the semester 3 are maybe about 5 weeks or 6 weeks. Um, the maximum, because by the end of the week you have to start to prepare your 2 weeks before the end of the week. You have to prepare your video and your slides and report for submission. So that means paling maximum pun maybe sampai week 6. Okay, because week 8 or week 7, week 8 tu kemungkinan kita kena do the submission. Okay, any of the dates or any of the specified dates when to submit on semester 3 on the slides, when you have to submit your report, when you have to do the correction and everything, has to be you have to wait for that specified date, because we need to go through another round of meeting with faculty science. So it's not me to decide the date, because usually we need um, to um, to have a consensus on the date that I need to submit your results or your marks. So from there, kita baru boleh buat the planning ataupun tarikh-tarikh ataupun um, the dates lah when you have to submit. Okay. So the most important things that you need to see in this workflow is that what is the um, your part, what is um, which of these stages that require your attention. So if you see this FYUP2 symposium, which is this is the week that you need um, to take care of, okay, on this step, submission of spiral bound, and also submission of final thesis. So in this case, because we are doing online, you don't need to submit the spiral bound already. We need to submit online like usual using the Google link. So I will give you the Google link so that you can submit it online. So this is actually the usual workflow that we have been used and have been provided in the website. Okay. So let me explain first on the oral presentation. So during the oral presentation, it is in the FYUP2 symposium. So this is, as I said to you, this is an annual event for the FYUP2 symposium. So in this current situation, you are required to do a video presentation. Same like when you do your proposal presentation, you have to prepare your video, and that video that you have to do is in a recorded version. So you have to record in a 15 to 20 minutes duration, and after you record the video, you have to submit it in the Google Drive, and then with a specified date determined by me. Okay, so I will come up with a schedule of the dates that you need to present, and then on that specified date, you are only go through a Q&A session with your examiners, and the duration of time is by 5 to 10 minutes only, so you shouldn't be more than 10 minutes, and that the Q&A session must be one-to-one. That means you can't be evaluated in a group of friends, okay? Even though that I know that some of the examiner did it in a group so that some other people can view or attend your Q&A session, that shouldn't be happening. So if you found out that your examiners tend to do those things, so please inform me on that, because it is against the rules. Well, actually, the Q&A session must be done with you and the examiners. So that means need to have the two examiners and you yourself during the sessions, okay? Not attended by anybody else, such as your friends or okay. So during this session, the examiner will contact you. So the examiner that will contact you is the first examiner. So if you remember, in your presentation schedule, usually you have two examiners. So the first examiners will contact you and set appointment with you using the phone number and email that you provide. So please make sure that you provide an email and provide a telephone number, a valid telephone number, so that they can contact you. What happened in the previous semester is that because FYUP has been extended to the next semester. So I can see that many of the students has been so demotivated and they don't want to make a contact with me, with the penyelaras, and also with the examiners. They don't give good cooperation, and it is very hard for us to track you because this is online. So me myself as a penyelaras also find this difficult, especially the student who didn't give full cooperation. So please help us, because we want to help you to complete your FYP so that you can graduate. So I know that everyone is feeling demotivated, even me, or even some of the lecturers also. We want to help you. We also feel the same way like how you feel in this current situation. So everybody is being cooped in a environment that we don't like. We want to do like a usual, but like usual or normal daily life, tapi tak boleh. Tapi semua orang ada their own problems. So please respond to us if we ask you to make up an appointment, ataupun kita tanya you apa masalah. Please respond. Okay, please give cooperation to us. If you have problems, you can always contact your PA, and you can contact me to let you know your problems so that we can make some arrangement for you. Okay, in this difficult situation, banyak masalah. So we will try to help within our capabilities. Okay, so when you want to prepare your video, you need to prepare your slide. This is a compulsory. So when you want to prepare your slides for your presentation, you have to follow these recommendations. So basically, there are no standard template, but it is recommended if you can use the UTM template like the one that I'm using right now. So you have like UTM logo, and then you have like the colors of UTM. This is more formal rather than putting some cartoons and like so many colorful backgrounds on your slides. You can do, okay, but because they say that there is no standard template, but it is advisable for you to use a UTM template. Okay. There is no limit for the number of slides. However, it is recommended that the first slides, okay, about 2 to 3 slides for introduction. Okay, literature and methodology, not so many, because we are going to focus more on your results and discussion. So maybe like literature, maybe two or three. Methodology, maybe you can compress it in 1 or 2 pages. So like here, they only recommend you to do 2 to 3 slides for intro in literature and methodology, but I think it is not really helpful, because methodology, some people, they have like a lengthy method to explain. So maybe about 4 to 5 slides is enough until methodology. And then the the remaining slides should be focusing on the results and discussion. Don't only put your results, put the discussion as well, suggestion, your conclusion, and also some future works. And don't forget on your references. Okay. So when you want to prepare your slides, you need to use a PowerPoint slide. Okay, and then when you want to save your files, you have to use this format. You have to put your names first, okay, student's name, and then you name it as a dash FYP slide, and supervisor's name, who is your supervisor, and make sure that the slide is in PDF file. This is the video, and the video must meet the recommendations or following requirements. So just the same like when you want to prepare your proposal presentation. I know that everyone has been an expert since this COVID thing, okay, this COVID situation. So everybody dah pandai dah gunakan video. So when you want to explain your slides, please make sure that you have like your face here, like in my video that I'm showing you right now. You can put your face, and then you can prepare your video in a 15 to 20 minutes video presentation. Okay. Um, you can also use other creative methods if you don't like to use you don't like to record via WebEx. You can use any other platform that you are comfortable with, as long as you have your face, okay, is presenting um during your video, recorded video, okay, during your presenting. Okay. All right, so during the video presentation, please make sure that the software is appropriate. Okay. Uh, I noticed that when I did some evaluation with the students, your video, most of you are okay, but some of it have a very slow voice. So make sure if you use like headphone, there must be like a small microphone there, and make sure that your microphone is near to your mouth, so that we can hear you clearly. And please find an environment that when you want to record your video is away from the sounds of motorcycles, from the roadsides, because it can interrupt what you're talking. And please make sure that you edit or you hear back your recorded video before you submit it in Google Drive, because it is very important. Okay. Because if you see the rubrics of evaluating your video, they evaluate your voice, um, whether it is clear, loud. There are some other um, criteria that was evaluated regarding your presentations, and it is more focused on your ability to present orally on your work. Okay. And please make sure that you use a formal attire, even though that we are in quarantine time right now. Please make sure that you wear a proper attire. Okay, don't just like a t-shirt, and please make sure that your yourself is presentable. Okay, and the resolution of the video also must be clear, and make sure also your title of your project. Okay, you see here, title of your project, student and supervisor's name, and your photo must appear. This one is already been explained just now. And all presentation must be in English. In Q&A session, if the lecturer asks you the question and then you are incapable of explaining in English, you can explain in Bahasa, provided that you have to ask the examiner. Because you're more comfortable to explain or give explanation in Bahasa, and then maybe you can ask permission from the examiners first. Okay, on that. If it also in bahasa Cina or bahasa India, I tak tahu lah yang tu. Tapi bahasa Melayu adalah bahasa national kan. So So lebih baik gunakan bahasa Inggeris. Kedua, kalau you rasa susah sangat, guna bahasa Melayu. Okay? Okay, audio commentary and all information on the slide must be clearly presented, and no background music is allowed. Okay, and make sure this is the editing part. You have to make sure that your slide is free from misspellings, inaccuracies, misappropriations, and after that, the video that you made, you must convert it into an MP4 format and name it like this, student name, FYP video, yang tadi tu FYP slide, this is a FYP video, and your supervisor's name, and then baru you boleh submit. Okay, so these are the examples of online assessment in FYUP presentation. So I can't remember whether this is proposal, but this is something like this. So during your this is on the Q&A. Sometimes when during the Q&A session, your examiner asks you to present um, uh, present the slide, not you presenting it again, because the Q&A is only allocated for 10 to 15 minutes. You cannot present again. If you are required or you were asked to present again, please inform me, because it was against the rule. So I really need to record on this, take a record if you are required to, to do that. If you are, if you were asked to present, if you were asked to present orally like 10 minutes, now you already know that the assessment is only by 10 to 5 to 10 minutes. So it is impossible for you to present again orally by 10 minutes. You are not required to do that. So maybe the examiner forgot about it. So you have to mention uh, to him or her that this is only Q&A session, and we were briefed by the penyelaras that you are only need to do the Q&A, not to represent again. Okay, right. So these are all the examples of Q&A sessions. All right, so now we go back to the FYP2 flow. So after you finish your oral presentation, you get the feedback by the examiners, and then from there, you include all the recommendations in your reports. So I'm sorry about this. It's not submission of spiral bound thesis. I need to cancel that out. Okay, so this is submission of the report must be done online. So the date, if you want to submit on semester 2, so please look back on the schedule date that I gave you just now on the in the first few slides. Okay, so usually the submission on this is uh, after you finish your FYP symposium, after you present your work orally, and then you were given about, I think, about 2 weeks to do some correction, and then you submit the report, and then the examination of the thesis will be done by your examiners about 2 weeks, and then the examiners return the thesis, and then your correction also into it. Okay, kita pergi one by one. On your final report, okay, in your final report, you have to do your report according to the UTM thesis format. You can Google UTM thesis format, or you can find this in SPS website. So your total page of your report is about 30 to 100 pages. It is very not advisable to just send 30 pages. Okay, I pun tak tahu kenapa dia letak 30 pages, but lebih kurang 50 to 100 is accepted. Okay, so you have to accompanied by the turn it in report in the appendix. So your turn it in report ni mesti below 30%. Okay, a complete FYP report must be signed by your supervisor. Sign and stamp, and then sign and stamp ni adalah in the first page of your report, and then you have to name according to the to this format. Okay, and the Google link for the coursework submission, you can click this link, and then you are directed to the Google Drive folders for you to submit your work. Okay, currently I only can give you the link, but your folder is not available yet because I need to make a folder of hundreds of you so that I can, if it is ready, you then you can put your things inside there. But right now, I only can give you the link because the folder is not ready yet. All right. Some information on the lead submission. So, okay, lead submission is not a problem with us. Okay, but you will be given or you'll be deducted 5 marks if you submit it late. So we minus 5 marks per day. So that means if you late by 3 days, that means you will be deducted 15 marks in total. So okay, so this will mention, so please take note on that. Okay, when you want to submit link for video slides and report, so when you are given the link, you can see that in your folder. So for example, this is a folder of Alisa Iona Mina. So when she clicks her folder, she can find that these two folders. Do not rename this folder because this is a like a default folder. Do not name it with your fancy names or in other names that you like. So if you click on the final report, okay, so you can get this. So this is the example of other persons that has already submitted in the last semester. So you see here, they submitted the report of FYUP according to the name or according to the format given, and do not kacau this form or rename it, okay, because this is where your examiner download this form to give you marks according to this form. Okay, so but in this folder, this person, apa yang dia terlupa nak upload? What do you think is missing in this folder? Okay, so this folder, this person is missing on the turn it in report, right? So turn it in report sama juga. He has to put your name and then turn it in report and then the name of your supervisor in PDF file. Okay, so you should have two things: your report and your turn it in report. FYP report and turn it in report. So if you go to your presentation folder. Okay, you can see this is if you see this, okay, the naming pun dah lain lah. Okay, because this is the previous one. So don't follow this. Okay, you follow this. Okay, FIB presentation. So you click on the final report. You put your FIB report and also the turn it in. And then in your presentation, you put the slides materials and your MP4 results and then MP4 folder and itu sajalah. Okay, so ni dia lupa nak letak dia punya ni. Okay, macam ni nampak the PDF file, the FYP slide in PDF file and the video in MP4 file. Okay, dua barang saja dalam ni. Okay. Right, in FYUP2 assessment juga, if you wondering how you're being assessed. So now kita dah explain on the oral presentation and also the on the submission of the spiral bound. So how you being assessed? So your assessment is based on your oral presentation and on your thesis or your report. Okay, so in your report, sorry, in your oral presentation, you will be examined by 2 examiners. And in your report, you'll be examined by also 2 examiners, the same examiners that evaluate your oral presentation. And also your final report will be also evaluated by supervisor. Your supervisor do not only evaluate your final report, but also they also assess other things. Okay, let's see this weightage in your course assessment. So if you see here, presentation evaluation, your oral presentation will take about 10 marks. Okay, please ignore this. I forgot to change on this because this should be on the week 14. This is not amended. I'm sorry about this. Okay. You just look on the percentage that was elaborated here. Okay, in form 2B is evaluated by your examiners, so the total marks is 15. Even though that you are evaluated by 2 examiners, in total marks is 15 that was carried in this course. Okay, in your thesis, okay, also when you are evaluated by 2 examiners, they also carry about 20%. The most marks carried here is evaluation by your supervisor. Okay, so okay, so by your supervisor, so you have to refer in Form 2C. So your thesis is not only evaluating your report, but also some of the soft skills evaluation by your supervisor. So you have to go through to your rubric to see what are the skills or what are the PLOs that was evaluated by your supervisors. Okay, some of the skills that was evaluated is is your ability to discuss with your supervisor. When do you report your interview session or your discussion session with your supervisor, your ability to think creatively, your ability to manage the information, how you grasp your knowledge based on your readings from your literature and make it into writing, how the skills, how you grasp the skills and you express it in your written report and throughout your this course, the FYUP2 course, your it includes all the soft skills. So all those evaluation you can see it uh, in the rubrics. Okay, so I'll give you the rubrics later on together with the slides. So please remember that the soft skills in this slide is on the PLO, the PLO above PLO 3. PLO 1, 2, and 3 is not the soft skills. Um, it is your understanding, your comprehension on this course, but and your comprehensive and apa comprehension and your apa understanding. Okay, the soft skill tu start from PLO 4 sampai PLO 9. So you have to look on each of the rubrics because each of the rubrics they already told you about the PLOs that addressing the soft skills. If you don't understand on this, you can ask me and I can explain to you again. Okay. Um, Oh my god. All right, I think I have to go through this again because I've been put this into mute. Right. Okay. So um I hope that you can, this is an explanation on the rubric, okay, on your rubric of FYUP2. So if you see this rubric, this is about the rubric on your final report, on your that carries the most marks on your FYUP2, which is the evaluation by your supervisor. All right. So if you remember what I said just now, um, you are evaluated by your supervisors based on the skills, okay, on the understanding and your comprehension, okay, which is on PLO1, PLO2, and PLO3. You are also evaluated based on your soft skills. So soft skills ni, they evaluate from above PLO3. Okay, so you have to find mana yang soft skills tu, contohnya macam ni, PLO6. Okay, PLO ni 3 tak ada. So I just colored this. Okay, PLO 4, PLO 5. Sekejap, I just checking again whether I'm recording this or not. Okay. Okay. Okay, PLO 9. Okay, so those are the things. So if you see here, PLO6, so PLO6, they measure your capability to find the literature searching from various sources and relevant literature. So if you see here, the examiners are doing basically the same thing like your supervisor. They are checking your chapter 1, chapter 2, but they have additional evaluation on your capability to search for knowledge, whether your skills to find or acquiring knowledge is there or not, ataupun you just discuss, ataupun you just tengok dekat buku, or you just, you know, they through discussion your supervisor will be able to evaluate you whether you're skillful or not, and also you can prove it through your writing. So from there your supervisors actually will know whether you are able to manage the relevant information that you acquire from the library and internet sources, and you put it into your write up. Okay. In PLO4, you will also evaluated through your capability to deliver your ideas and message in your oral and your report. So your supervisor didn't evaluate your presentation skills, but she or he evaluate you through here. Okay. Number 5, PLO5, whether you can creatively think and solve the problems through literature searching, whether you can think creatively, okay, when you have problems. Do you understand the solution? Do you know how to solve your problems, or you just depend 100% to your supervisor to solve it for you? So these are the things that your supervisor will evaluate you, and also your capability to act professionally and responsibility in executing research, whether you are capable to execute your plans, okay, fully, and whether you can discuss your data with your supervisor. You're discussing all the results from the pictures model, okay, and then you put it into a report and then show your supervisor, okay, and then your responsibility, whether you have giving feedback to your supervisor or just keep quiet. Okay, so those are the things you can read it further for you to know, because you need to have your information how you are going to be evaluated. Kalau you tak dapat, contohnya macam you nak pergi kerja, kalau you nak pergi kerja contohnya dekat satu company, you'll be given some introduction on the company, right? So kalau you are not being briefed ataupun you tak find the information, macam mana orang tu nak evaluate you? Because they will ask you some few things from information on the company, and then macam mana you nak contribute to that company. So sama macam ni jugalah, you need to know some information because you are evaluated. You kena tahulah hak you, and then you accomplish this according to the criteria that is required. Okay. Okay, now let me continue with the sharing of the PowerPoint slide. Sekejap. Okay. Okay, just now we stop dekat sini kan? Okay, so I hope that it is all clear on your course assessment. Right. So now when you want to do, you are given back your examiners, giving back your thesis. So how do they give you back your thesis? They will give you all the your corrections in your folder, in your written report folder, FYUP2 report folder. You have to check back. So after 2 weeks, please be more proactive in checking whether your examiners has give feedback on your thesis. You need the feedback because without the feedback, you cannot improve your thesis. Okay, so so if the supervisor, if your examiner forgot to put the feedback, you have to contact him or her and push sikit lah supaya dia beri feedback pada you. And then your correction thesis, you will be given about approximately 2 weeks before the final submission. So when you do your final submission of the thesis, you need to also submit your extract separately from the final thesis. So that means in the final submission, you need to submit your abstract sahaja in English. Alright. And then in English and Malay, I think. In English and Malay. And then after you submit and then you do some clearance checklist, what are other SOPs that you need to follow, okay, before you finally complete it wholly, okay. So these are the clearance checklist. So the clearance checklist tu tadilah yang extract submission with correction. So that means this is a correction, improve and check by your supervisor before you send out for final abstract, okay, and whether your final report has been submitted or not. And then 3 other things, additional things is a exit survey form, proceeding, this is optional, and materials written form. So you know that materials written form is very important because kalau you tak hantar ni, you tak boleh nak graduate. I think dia ada macam 3 form yang supervisor tanda tangan, so you boleh grad. Because kalau you masih berhutang, you tak hantar borang ni, you tak boleh graduate. One of the requirement before you finish your FYP2. Okay, so abstract. Oh, okay, silap tadi. So abstract, please submit your final English abstract after the correction in the G Drive folder. Also in Word format, and this abstract is important because it will be included in the e-proceeding. So this is a bioscience annual FYP proceeding. Ada tak dekat sini ya? Okay, kejap ya. Okay, this is okay. Okay, this is a proceeding, annual proceeding in our jabatan. So setiap tahun jabatan kita akan keluarkan satu proceeding. So dalam proceeding ni dia ada abstracts of all students yang attended the symposium. So that means those are who did oral presentation. So semua tu akan dikompilkan dan dibukukan. So sekarang ni kita tak adalah bukukan, dia just kita dapatkan EISBN number. So this is like your publication. Kalau you ada hantar paper, you ada EISBN number. So you can put this in your resume ya. Kalau you ada e-proceeding ni, contohnya kalau you nak sambung belajar, dia akan tengok you punya resume kan, you punya publication. So these are counted as your publication. So your proceeding, your abstract tadi yang kita kumpulkan tu, you akan masukkan dalam proceeding Bioscience Symposium of final undergraduate. So kalau tahun ni kita akan masukkan 2021. Okay, these are the example of your seniors sebelum tu, di bawah Dr. Nazima. So ini yang you punya tajuk FYUP tu, and then you letak abstract and put some keywords here. This must be according to the format. Okay, so you punya final abstract must be in this format. Okay, right. The final report, okay, must be submitted soft copy. Macam tadi tu dekat dalam flowchart tu kita letak like hard copy or spring binding, but it's not spring binding or hard copy anymore. So this final report, the final submission is in soft copy. So when you submit this, you have to put it in the same G drive that you submit for the final report, but you have to name it as a final report, your name and your metric number in PDF file. Okay, but this also have to be confirmed by your supervisors. You have to stamp by supervisors. Your supervisors need to sign the declaration inside your thesis. Okay. Okay. In this duration of time, on the PKP time, PKPD and apa-apa PKP pun, okay. You need to send also your hardcover upon your the request by your supervisor. Kalau supervisor you nak you hantar hardcover, you have to do lah, and then you have to submit to her or him by hand or supervisor. You have to ask your supervisor nak ke tak nak the hard copy. And then the exit survey. Alamak, sini tersilap pula. Student have to fill in the exit survey sini ya, saya terpadam. So the link is not available yet because this link is given by the PA from of the TDA in Faculty Science. Bukan exit survey daripada saya. Exit survey ni daripada faculty. So I haven't had the link yet. So once I got the link, I will forward it to you so that you can fulfill this requirement. So you need to, when you finish, you will need to save okay, the exit survey. You need to give me a proof of submission and submit it in the Google Drive. So this is the example of exit survey. Once you finish it, you have to save this. Okay, your email address ni, and then you have to put this in your folder. So ini yang folder yang Mamat tadi kan, Abdul Muiz Kamal ni. This guy, your seniors ya, dia dah ada report, and then okay, these are the comments. Okay, contohnya comments from Dr. Chong. So ni maksudnya dia punya examiner dah beri comment, and then they put in this folder. So apa-apa pun, you just get back to this folder to see your feedbacks from your supervisor, and then do not delete your original report yang the first time that you send to, do not delete it. And then these are the survey form, okay, in PDF file, this one, okay. So you have to also submit okay, so that means ini pun dia tersalah juga je ni, FYP report PDF ada dua. Okay, this is final report, and the last one final report, this is the original report because they are the supervisor's name. This is a comment from the supervisor, okay. Alright, now on the proceeding. Proceeding is optional, like I explained to you. So those who are interested to publish in annual proceeding can submit the proceeding in the Google Drive link. Okay, so kalau you tengok dekat sini, boleh tengok tak? I have to share. Stop sharing kejap ya. Okay. So now okay, tadi tu I click the link, so you will be directed to this. So if let's say you want to send the proceeding, you go to full paper and then you put your file here. Okay, yang abstract tadi tu just put in the folder abstract. Okay. Okay, so So this must be in the folder under full paper. But if you want to send the proceeding, you need to discuss with your supervisor, because sometimes your supervisor might think that your work is worthy to send in other journal papers or in other conferences. Um, so they might not want to submit in this e-proceeding. So anything you need to discuss with your supervisor whether you want to send the proceeding ataupun tak nak, because this proceeding is a full paper proceeding. Okay, so the proceeding dia lebih intense because you need to submit this abstract and give some introduction. Tapi you just take like a little introduction from your thesis. Tak perlu letak all those literature works. Just singkat sahaja. Just a simple introduction. Just like when you write a paper, ada materials, methods, result discussion. So if you look in the format, you can click. Okay, cannot click. I need to give you a new template. Okay, when you click the link, they will direct you to the template. Okay, so so those who wanted to submit this, you need to put it into the folder that I gave you. Okay, other things, the SOP or the clearance checklist is the return of laboratory apparatus. So you need to get this material return form, okay, from the store. Usually Encik Yus yang akan paskan this form to you. For now, whether you have that online or still hard copy, I don't know. But last time, last semester, the student give me said that they fill in hard copy type of form. So when you submit the form, okay, please remember the date of submission, because you need to fill in into this sheet. Okay. Okay, so dekat sini ada nama Adam Tiova Adlina Hanani telah memulangkan borang and tarikh borang. Some of the student, they don't work on the they don't do work in FYUP lab, and mostly uses um, apparatus in your supervisor's own lab. So you don't take anything from store, so you just put a put tanda like this. Okay, kalau you letak borang and then contohnya you submit, you hantar pada 31 hari bulan Ogos. Just 2021. Macam tu. Okay? Right. Okay, we almost there. Kejap ya. So, okay, these are the example yang macam tahun lepas, dia lepas dihantar and then they fill in this form. Banyak benda you nak kena buat ya. Sebab tu saya letakkan flowchart supaya you uh, get into you get into the flow. Okay. Okay, students are reminded that FYP scoring is subject to compliance with this rule. Failure to do so will affect the scoring and receipt of student transcript. So, kalau you tak hantar ini borang, ini laboratory apparatus, you tak dapatkan sign daripada union supervisor, even though you submit your FYP project, you cannot get marks. You tak dapat transcript untuk FYP. So, please do not take this thing lightly. Please make sure that everything is completed baru you complete the FYP2, right? So I think that's all for today's briefing. I'm sorry because some of the time was paused and it was muted, and then I have to repeat again the explanation. So I hope that this briefing is helping. Okay. Okay, I will provide you a Google form later on so that you can give some feedback and you can ask me some questions on in the Google Drive link, and then I'll try to answer the question one by one and get back to you after that. Okay? So thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to this briefing. I hope that everything went well for your FYUP, inshallah. We hope that everyone can finish this within the allocated time. Okay. So I think that's it for my briefing. Thank you. again, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay.